it's your girl Evelyn Lozada on a new episode of Drop the Low with my sidekick.
And I'm your girl, Shaniece Hairston. Are you excited? You're excited?
I am over the moon. I am over the moon because I feel like whenever we have guests here that are very personal to us and their family, it's just the interview takes a world of its own. And you also get to see, I feel like, a different side of us, like
For
a more
sure.
real, authentic side,
For
right?
sure, yeah.
So we're excited. I'm excited. So go ahead, introduce the girl.
Okay, today's guest is truly the backbone of our family and the heart of our story. She's a New York native, a single mom who raised her children with strength, resilience, and a whole lot of love. Her journey through struggle, sacrifice, and survival is one that reflects the stories of so many women who do whatever it takes to keep their families together. Please welcome my Wellie, your mom.
My mother, I came out of her vagina.
And she's my grandmother, and we don't say grandma, I say Wellie. It's always been Wellie.
Yes.
What does Wellie, does that mean, what does Wellie mean?
I don't know. You were the first one that called me Wellie.
Oh,
Wait.
I came up with that?
Did she come up with it or you made it up?
Well, I told her not to call me abuela. It made me feel old. And I was a young mommy, a grandma. And I said, oh, why don't you call me Wellie? And I used to call my grandma Wellie.
Oh, okay.
Wellie. Not in Puerto Rico, you say Wellie. Mm-hmm. But then I changed it to Wellie. And that's why she kept saying Lely. And then eventually she said Wellie.
So my mother because I had Shaniece so young, I got pregnant at 16. Everybody knows this. I got pregnant at 16. I had Shaniece at 17. So my mom became a grandmom at what, like 37?
38?
Wow.
38 is crazy.
Yeah, we're 38-year-old grandma.
Yeah.
Were you like, what the hell?
I was like, I have all that energy. Like, I don't have it now, but, But I had all that energy, and I did everything with her. She was my first granddaughter, and I was so proud of her and me, and it was like I was, having another child again, all over again.
Yeah.
But they said that you love again, like the second time is different, like. You let them do everything you want, like
the grandkids.
The grandkids, of course,
That's the issue I'm going to have with this one over here.
Please. Yeah, that's going to happen with her, definitely. But she was good. She was a good grandkid. She was amazing.
Thanks.
She was.
Wait, but like when you were, because you were so young, were you like, man, I'm a 38-year-old grandma? Or what, like nothing? Nothing. I love that.
You weren't very happy at first when I came out pregnant.
Well, no,
I think that's what she's. Yeah, I think you.
Yeah, well, I was mad when I found out. Of course, like other people found out first, and then I found out because she was scared to tell me. And when she told me, I remember that there was we had like a little fight. Like I remember, I think that I tried to smack her or something like that. I think I broke her earlobe.
Yeah.
Because I didn't mean to, or obviously we took her to the hospital. We had to come back because there was another emergency at that time, and then at that time Larry was home.
So the reason why I have this earlobe that kind of dangles a little bit is because, well, to your defense, I deserved getting in trouble because I had cut school. And I was in Far Rockaway with a little boo that I had. I'm in high school and not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I got home, I think I got home a little kind of, it wasn't like midnight late,
No.
you were upset. And my mom, she had this thing where she would pull our ears. And by mistake, she pulled the earring and the whole earring came out of my ear.
Oh
my ear lobe was like ripped. And then we went to the hospital, and because it took so long for them to see me in the
Yes.
emergency, it had already started healing.
Yeah.
So there was nothing they could do.
No.
They were basically like, you know what, we're
Yeah.
gonna, there's just it's gonna be fine. So
Yeah.
yeah, but to your defense, I know people may be like, oh my God, but we're talking about back in the day, like
Yeah,
things are different
you know,
now.
I mean, of course, I didn't, I never meant to,
Yeah.
to be like aggressive like that, you know. But of course, I mean, I have a temper.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the ear pulling transferred over because I definitely got my ear pulled. and I even as an adult, I'm like, who pulls ears? Like, where did that come from? Did someone do that to you?
No,
Where you just were like,
I'm gonna-
It's just
I think
like
it's just
yank
kind of like the quickest thing to do.
to
I
grab,
guess.
you know, because she did it to me too a few times. So you were just like, so
no, I mean, I
you
don't.
created it.
I don't. I guess I did. I don't recall. You know, my grandparents never like, but because you know, I didn't grow up with my mom, but
Yeah.
I don't recall my grandfather or my grandmother ever hit me. Only my grandfather hit me once because I stole his horse, and he was embarrassed because I fell in front of a lot of guys that were there doing coffee. They were picking coffee in the farm, but I think he only hit me once. He used to just look at me, and that was the way of him telling me, "You better get you
Act together.
You act together." But he never hit me. So I don't recall like anybody pulling my ear or hitting me like that.
I also think the culture of when we grew up it just was so different from what it is now. You know what I mean? Like it even when you, not to age you, but even
Don't
like,
age me.
Like things have changed. Like you did some shit, you're getting slapped up, you know, or we're gonna pull that belt out and you're gonna get hit. You know, it's just it was a normal thing to do back then.
Now they have a thing called gentle parenting. So what do you think about gentle parenting?
I don't know. That's too gentle for me.
So you feel
Like I feel like if because nowadays you can say or take a chancleta and hit them or you know whatever way we used to do or the belt, you know.
Yeah.
Like nowadays you can do that, not even in school because they're gonna call 911 or they're gonna call on you, you know. I
Right.
mean, imagine back then she would have been calling 911 on me I don't even know what BCW was back then.
right.
Because we were not raised like that. We were raised like, you know what? You're going to get smacked today. And because you did something wrong. Or you're going to get punished. So, you know, we grew up like that. We said, okay, you're going to get punished. You know, you're going to get a smack or, you know. And I'm not proud. I probably remember certain things that I'm not proud of it. Like I remember I hit Janita one time in her face. I always.
Yeah. It's okay. Oh, God, you made me cry today.
I always remember that. You know, so it's something that, you know, things I remember, you know, like I used to punish her for certain things, stupid things.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because my temper I don't have a low temper. I do have a high temper. I'm low now. But, you know, sometimes my temper comes out, and I'm not proud of that, you know. Of course, you know, I always say that, you know, that I was not a perfect mom. Can't even look at her. But, but who is perfect, you know? I like I always say, you know, I try to manage the best way I could, you know. And I hope that is passed when I'm not here. I say, okay, mom did the best I could because I did. I tried to do the best I could. I probably, you know, will always remember those, that memory will always stay there. You know, I'm sorry, Janita, you know. I always wanted to say, I'm sorry. But
Have you ever apologized to her in person for that?
There's other things that I know that I have. that I always wanted to say to her.
Well, you should say
I think
it to
you should
her.
say it, Wellie. And I think this is an important conversation because it's like you don't ever want it to be too late to say I'm sorry, or I hurt you when you were at this, and maybe
Yeah.
there's some sort of like resentment now, and like to clear the air.
I think I need
know?
that tissue now.
Okay.
I also think how I feel like your parents also emulate things that they saw, or like your upbringing wasn't great. So it's like you had 2 kids, you were young, you were single mom, it's like you were trying to do the best that you could with whatever your circumstance was. So we don't harbor on any of that stuff. You probably are holding on to it. I don't even think she is holding on to any of that. You know what I mean? So it's like, because I mean, we know what your story is as far as, how you grew up, and you didn't know your dad your whole life until we found grandpa in 2017, and your relationship with your mother, my grandmother, like, you being raised in Puerto Rico by someone else. It's like, we could only imagine what that was like. So
I think so.
every time she has a big birthday, I got a big birthday. I said,
Yes,
God
that's
damn
true.
it. So every time, like, I'm turning 50, she's turning 70. When she's turning 80, I'm turning 60. It's like,
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
Well, so Titi is your firstborn,
Yes.
and then mom was your second. You have 2 daughters. How did you make things different with mom, if you did? Like, do you feel like you raised them both differently or the same?
No, different.
Different.
I think different because her dad was not in her life. Janita's dad was in her life. And even though he come to visit them, I say them because he used to love her too. Mm-hmm. And he used to share everything with her. Oh, he used to tell me, whatever I send you money-wise is for both of them. He never said this is for Janita. Mm-hmm. No. God rest his soul. También se me murió también, so, But I guess, and she traveled to see him. She didn't have that. And that hurt me that she did not have that. And I told her father, you just come to her life when she was 5 years old and try to be the goody daddy for maybe a weekend, and that's not going to happen. So, we lost contact. We used to, but we used to, I don't know. I don't think he knew better either. I don't know why he didn't do better. He loved her, but he didn't. I guess he didn't know how to show that. But then I guess I embraced her more, which I should have done with Janita también. But I embraced her more because I felt it, because I did not have that figure. And then I said, okay. Yeah, and attitudes is totally different. They're both totally different, and that doesn't mean that I love her more than the other one. And wish I could do the things different, but and she was also, my mother did not embrace her either. She didn't have that grandmother love like Janita did. Like Janita used to go with my mother. She used to pick her up, and she used to leave her behind. That bothered me a lot.
Why didn't she embrace her?
I don't know. I don't know what she had against her.
Is it skin?
I don't have no idea. Yeah, she was a little racist.
She
was.
That was.
That's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was.
So
I mean,
Titi is very.
Fair
People
skin.
don't really talk about this, but there is that in family, like colorism. I don't want to go into a deep dive because then it becomes But I think,
and I don't know why, because my grandfather was black.
Well, I think your mom was
Dark.
darker than me.
Dark skin.
Wasn't your mom darker than me?
My
Juanita.
mother, my mother was darker.
yeah, but she was she actually looked very kind of like Taino,
She
like
was
my
dark.
grandmother, but yeah, it was clear that she liked her, but she didn't like me.
Did you feel that as a kid?
Yeah, I knew.
Yes, she did.
I knew. She didn't.
Oh,
She took Titi to like Disney, and it was
Yeah.
like she was like, I'm not taking her.
what a
Yeah,
biatch.
she didn't like me.
Yeah. So,
She wasn't.
sorry,
She didn't
ma,
really like
pero
my father either, though, cause so and he felt like she didn't like him for the same reasons.
and he was not that dark either.
I think he was like my color,
Yeah.
with a tan.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Because he was the one of the among the older brothers. He was the lightest one of the lightest one.
Or she would make so then as I got older, she would make comments to me about like my boyfriends at the time that I would date, like, oh, you only, like black men. And like she would like say stuff like that, like with your dad, she said it. Like I remember she just had like this issue. And like now I was young. I guess I didn't really comprehend what the issue was, because for me it's like, we're all the same, I guess.
Yeah, I
But
had to
for
put her
her,
on check a few times about that specific topic. I remember when Titi M went to get surgery for her liver. We were waiting, and there was a lot of people. But I remember she was sitting on a bench. We were all waiting. And there was this lady, she got up. No, my mother got up. So the lady came and sat down, and she said like a stupid remark about this black lady. But she said it like in a mean way. Esta negra fea, qué sé yo, something to that effect. I was like, no, you did not go like that. You didn't go there. And I had to really reprimand her right in front of the lady. I was like, what are you doing? And why are you like that? I mean, we're all the same color in my eyes. But she was like that. She was.
yeah.
So, like, you know how obviously you were a single mom and you say you did the best that you could. What were some of the things that you were battling with or struggling with during that time as you were raising your children?
Well, I wanted to finish school. I couldn't do it. I mean, I had to take her. I mean, Janita go to school, then I had to take her to school. I really wanted to be a teacher, but then when they were growing up, all of a sudden I said, wait a minute, I don't want to be a teacher. So then I said, no. Like I said, no, I can't deal, I have both of them to deal at home. I don't want to deal with 20 more others like that. So I really, and I decided, I said, okay, maybe I go with the typing, the secretary, or bookkeeping, that's what I really liked. And but I couldn't finish because I didn't have a babysitter. There was no money for that. I was tight in money-wise. I guess money was one of the big issue for you to do better. I was in welfare. I was getting food stamps until I found that job in Carlisle. And
Which is one of my favorite places.
I know. Carlisle is one of your favorite places.
I would go to her job and I would dress myself up in all the jewelry.
With all the jewelry.
And the clothes, and I'll be in the dressing room. Not much has changed. Like, that was my thing. That was one of my favorite places when you brought me to work with you.
Yeah.
And everyone knew me.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, I had other little jobs, but that was my first and longest job that I had. And I loved it there. And
I remember you worked in a fish market.
I did. I worked in a fish market on 2nd Avenue. And 40, we used to be like the Channel 11 was close by. I met a lot of people from Channel 11. Some actresses came to, the lady from General Hospital came in. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this so far, Laura. I work in a fish market. I work in a grocery store to make ends meet. What is
Ends
it?
meet.
Ends meet. Okay, ends meet. So I can pay my rent that month. I said I don't know what I'm gonna do for the next month, but I'm gonna do this. And I did little jobs here and there, you know.
You would steal formula with your sister.
My God, with my sister, no, I was by myself. But she was like months, you know. And I was like so, like I didn't have money and it was cold. So my sister was in the house. And so I'd be back. And back then, the carnation milk was like little ounces like this, and it was the other can. So the only one that was fitted in my coat pocket was the little one. So I had like a few of them in my pocket. So the guy saw me, and he said, "I saw what you did." I said, "Okay, my daughter has to eat. You're gonna call the cops on me?" In Spanish, of course. And he said, "Well, I'm going to let it go this time." I said, "Fine. But if you catch me again, are you going to let me go?" Listen, she had to eat. Oh, my God.
Why didn't you breastfeed?
I was just about to ask, was breastfeeding a thing during that?
No. it
Nobody
wasn't.
talked
I did
about
it. I only
breastfeeding.
did it for one day. It was really hard. Like, I don't know. It was like
It hurt.
very uncomfortable. Yeah.
So
Did it for one time.
yeah, and I remember, so back in the day, I remember even by the time I had you, like it was just breastfeeding, it's just a different thing now, right? Like most moms want to breastfeed. There's so much information on how beneficial it is, and you want to breastfeed your kids, right? Because it's the best milk that you can give them. But back then, it was like everybody was a Similac baby.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you were a Similac baby,
Or
a
Enfamil.
Enfamil baby,
Enfamil,
you
yeah.
know, whatever it was. And then even when I had you, I didn't even think to breastfeed because I never saw it. You know, I never saw, you know, any of my aunts breastfeeding their kids. It just wasn't a thing. You get Similac milk, and that's what you give
Yeah, no.
your baby. So, but yeah,
Which is so weird because that's why we produce milk.
I know.
It's like
yeah,
since
like
the beginning
you-
of time.
She had it with her, you know. So
Yeah.
instead of having to steal, but it wasn't. I guess is it like you just did it. Like you knew to breastfeed, but it just wasn't a thing back in
It
the
wasn't a
70s,
thing,
right? I feel like it was just a different time.
Yeah. They used to give you like these pills so they could dry it up. That's it. That's what they used to do.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, although you struggled and all those things, I feel like I did see a lot of things as a kid, but I also feel like I had a really fun childhood with the bare minimum of what we had, but I had I have so many like fun, vivid moments. So obviously so I'll give you a little backstory. Born in Brooklyn, then we moved from Brooklyn, Knickerbocker area, right? We moved to Ridgewood, Queens.
To Ridgewood.
I did a whole YouTube video on that where we went to Putnam Avenue.
Oh, wow.
I have my best memories there. So from Brooklyn, we moved to Ridgewood, Queens, lived on Putnam, and then we moved to the Bronx.
Seward.
Okay. When we moved to the Bronx,
Oh, my God.
me and my sister was so emotional because moving
Yeah.
from Ridgewood, Queens to the Bronx back then was like culture shock a little bit. It was like a big deal. Like we're moving to the Bronx, you know? And I remember us going over the Whitestone Bridge bawling. Like we're bawling, crying because we were like, we did not want to move to the Bronx. But so how was it for you with that transition, like raising us, you know, in the Bronx and
Well, but she said that she was bawling, but it took me like almost a month, and I cry every day too.
When you moved to the Bronx?
I did. I didn't want to move to the Bronx. It just did it because I signed for a low income building, and I have problem with the landlord because they were racist. They were really racist, and
She beat him up.
they
She beat the landlord
I
up.
did.
I got your temper out on them?
I did.
Well, he said something really racist to my
Yeah,
mom.
and she, and thanks to Janita, I probably didn't go to jail that day because Janita really stopped me. I was ready to. I had like this key chain, looks like a safety pin, but a big safety pin. And this guy really, really got me so mad because he was talking about my kids and talking about my kid. And then I don't recall what exactly he said. I know he hit me. I hit him back. I know one of his tooth fell. It was like a whole scuffle that we had on the hallway. Nobody knew what was going on until
I remember
Janita,
this.
to Janita opened the door, and I was about to actually stab this guy when Janita came, and she said, "Mom, no, 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 Mom." So like that was like whoa, and thank God that I had this application ongoing, and thanks to my friend, one of my best friend Nancy, I applied for that apartment. I was gonna live in the city, but then this apartment came, which is same company, and Larry and I went to see it and go to the neighborhood and look at it, and it wasn't that bad back then. And big apartment, 2 bedroom, it was nice. I fell in love with the apartment, but of course I cried because I was working already. Then my kid had to stay in Brooklyn with Larry's mom for a couple of months. I didn't want to take them out of the school year before the time, and but then I got used to it. I wasn't too crazy about the double fare because we had like a two-zone, remember?
You have to take the bus
You
to
had
the
to
train.
take the bus to the train, but I got used to it. And but money-wise, it was cheaper, and I liked the apartment, and they had the room on my mind, and that's why I moved. But I really didn't want to move, and I love Ridgewood. I wish I could go back to Ridgewood. I really like
Yeah,
Ridgewood.
I love
I
Ridgewood
love
too.
Ridgewood. It's so and it's a neighborhood that I have very good memory. I like Brooklyn too. I mean, I'm a Brooklyn girl, but Ridgewood, it's in my heart. It's always be.
So now that you've been in the Bronx for a long time,
Oh.
and I know have asked you to move to California, do you ever think about leaving? Because I know one thing about my mom is she living in the Bronx or being in Brooklyn or even in New York, really, depending on where you live, everything is so close.
Close.
Like you have your friends, you have your salsa club, you have the restaurants you go to. Like she's like the mayor of the condominiums where she lives. Do you ever think about leaving there, or are you just like, this is like my community? Because I feel like when you come to California, you're like, this is so boring.
It is.
My mother, like, this is boring.
It
Like,
is.
what are we doing?
It's really boring here.
Yeah.
And I get what you mean, and maybe because
I have to be honest. It's like I be here. I like to come and see my family, and I put in my calendar 10 days, and then on the 5th, 7th day, I'm like, I want to go home. I really want to go home because I'm like, what I'm doing. I love the pool. How much I can get from the pool, but it's just. I guess.
do you feel like you need to do more activity, or you feel like it's just the energy of LA? A little bit of both. A
Yeah.
little bit of both.
I mean, everything is so far. I wish
It is.
if it was
Right.
close, like to Floridita,
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
could
yeah,
go
that
on a
side of
Monday,
town.
and I say, okay, me voy Monday on Floridita, and I'm like, but then if I come to here, I'm like, I have to travel like an hour to Floridita.
yeah.
By the time I want to come back, I have one or two drinks. I don't drink like that anymore. But then I have to think about the traffic. If I get stopped, listen, I won't deal with that.
So if you moved here, do you want to live by El Florida?
Well, look.
Is that the area you want to be in?
I like the Bronx or close to the Bronx, like Yonkers, White Plain. I mean, I would like to have something. I love New York. I
Right.
love New York.
I mean, it's energy.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, I like to get in the car and it's like there, or I walk to Willie Steakhouse, I do a dance, and then I'm home by 12. And that's my exercise, my weekly exercise. And I don't know about Tito moving to the California.
You should
Right.
ask him.
Tito's my mother's fiance. You know what? I will say when I went to New York a month ago or now 2 months ago, I was like, man, like this energy is just, God, it's just nothing like it. It's just being in the city and eating certain things and just obviously seeing you guys. Like I always leave there feeling like I want to get a place here so I could probably have like, you know, two places because I love California. You know, it's like I love it here too, but it's just a different vibe, you know. So if you could have
Definitely.
the best of both worlds, then why not? But I know you're such a New Yorker at heart, like. But I agree with you as far as like Ridgewood, Queens, when we lived there, because
Yeah.
I remember right in front of our apartment building, there was a fire hydrant and we would open up the fire hydrant and that's how we would get wet. Cause you know,
Yes.
you don't have pools like that in New York. You know, everything is just so
Community
different.
pool too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
no.
and we would have, well, there was one community pool that we would go to.
Oh, McCarrion Pool.
McCarrion
Oh, I used to
Pool.
take
We
them
would go to
McCarrion
McCarrion,
Pool all
and
the
it was
time.
a big deal, honey. If we went to
Oh.
McCarrion Pool, you know, because we don't have that.
You
Or
have
it's,
to see that neighborhood now. It's
it's just
beautiful.
it's just so different. Even like organized sports, you know how like everything here is a lot of sports with the kids and a lot of like outdoor activities,
Uh-huh.
which I do love that for like Blaze,
Yeah.
Leo, because I feel like it's really good for them to have like sports and other things to do versus in New York, like where are you gonna go? You're gonna go to the YMCA if you can, or you chilling on the block.
Yeah.
You know, and you're chilling on the block, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get in you probably gonna get in some shit. So but I have fun.
Sorry. So, obviously, you raised Titi and mom. Were there things that you experienced as a child that you wanted to do differently with Titi and mom when
Wait.
you became a mom?
My childhood?
Yeah, like if you look back at your childhood and you're like, I'm not going to do this with my kids. Like, were there things that you done differently when you became a mom? Did you ever want kids?
I only wanted one.
The
Yeah.
truth is okay. Because there are people who don't actually want kids and have kids, you know?
I always said that I wanted one child.
Yeah.
And Janita came. And then Sandy came, you know. And of course I call mom Sandy, you know. But that if I would do differently,
Like anything like from like what your mom did that you were like, I'm gonna do this differently as a mom, raising my kids. You know?
well, I don't.
I mean, I think you were way more present than she was.
I mean,
You're like, I did everything differently.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I stole my child when in Puerto Rico because over there the laws were different back then. I mean, you had to have like a home. When I divorced her father, and but I said I don't want it. I don't want my child to feel like I abandoned her. That's how I felt it. My mother gave me away when I was 6 months to a family that became my family, Junior, you know, my brother Junior, because, you know, I went to this family when I was a baby, and they were the one that fixed my legs because I was bow-legged. And Mommy Madeline, she was the one that gave me that homey love, you know. And I remember them. And then I was so traumatized when all of a sudden everything I see around is green because they just took me out of this home. And then I always remember that my sister Ruthie, God rest her soul, she told me, your mom took you from us. And back then there was not the adoption, she didn't give them a chance to do that. So I did not want them to feel like I abandoned her. So that's when, because I always say I'm a mom first than a woman, I am going to steal my child. I don't care what I had to do. And, I could have been in jail for 10 years if he would have pressed charges on me, which he did, and thank God.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we had a talk, and he said, I don't want her to be with our mom. And so I didn't want her to be thinking I abandoned her. So I think that's what I would do different.
So basically, your mother abandoned you when you were younger, and then by the time you became a mom, you said, I'm not going to do what my mother did to me.
No.
So you did the opposite. You stole your daughter from
I
Puerto
stole my
Rico,
kid.
and you
I did.
ended up
I did.
traveling to New York.
It was a whole mafia thing that we did to get her to me.
Mm-hmm.
I had to change cars 3 times because everybody know each other in Puerto Rico. Everybody knows you, and everybody know, oh my God, she got, no. And so we did what we had to do.
Yeah.
It was my thinking. My grandfather was the brain first. And I said, okay, I follow his thinking. And that's what I did. And that's how she here. Sometimes I wonder if I did the right thing by not letting her stay with Dad. But it was not I don't think that I was thinking as a mom. And even though I know she probably right now could have been a lawyer or something, better, I don't know. But I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, because I wouldn't have grown up with her. Fuck.
You're right.
I'm glad you did. I wouldn't have been growing up like that's like my sister is like my sister's my bestie.
Back to you.
Yeah, hello. God. How about me? I'm like the kid nobody wanted. Like, nobody wanted her. My mother didn't want a second child. My father was a non-factor. My grandmother didn't like me. It was just, what the hell?
Wow.
No, but then, when I became pregnant for Mom, then I'm like, oh my God, like, I was, and you know what? I was really close. And of course, when I was so mad with her dad, because he played me dirty when I was pregnant, that I even told him at the hospital, you take her. I don't want her. You take her. And I was
Mom,
like,
that's sad.
3 days. I did. I was mad. But
No, it's not personal. It wasn't personal to you,
No, it wasn't
though. I don't
personal.
think it's personal to you.
So you get pregnant from me, my father cheats on you,
Yeah,
and
he
you're
cheated
just like,
on
you could
me.
take her, I don't want her.
And then because she was in an incubator, and they used to tell me, do you want to go to the room with all the incubator kids with the baby were there? I said no. And then like the 3rd day, I see my neighbor kid baby, and the one, because it was not a private room, it was like 4 of us in that room. And then I said, I want to see my child. Oh, I see your child. I want to see my child. And then I wasn't mad no more. But I did tell him, once I bring her home, you out. That's exactly what I did.
So I was in
Out.
an incubator because my heart was enlarged,
Yeah,
right?
she
Like
has
my heart.
she had a big heart for her body. That was saying that's the. But then
You have a big heart,
She had a big-
literally
literally.
and figuratively. You do.
and then she was okay. She lost 1 pound. Took her home. I took her home, And she was a crier, like
Mantequilla.
mantequilla. That's what we used to call her.
I'm still a
know.
crier.
She's still crying.
We used
I'm
to call her-
emotional. Look at the trauma I have. Of course, I'm emotional. What the hell?
was a crier.
You didn't see me for a couple of days. I'm in the incubator. You're arguing with my dad. Like you never know like what your kids take on.
Yeah, you're right.
I am a crybaby too. I'm very emotional.
No, and she didn't sleep at night. Oh my God, she kept me up all night. Yeah, but
So you broke up with him right when you gave birth?
like maybe 3 weeks after, I told him, you have to leave. You have to get out of here.
And what's so sad is like, because they speak about it now, you were like postpartum.
Huh?
You,
Do you know what postpartum?
you know what postpartum is?
At this age?
No. Like after you have your child,
Oh,
you're in your
yeah.
postpartum stage, and
Yeah, but
it's
back
emotional.
then, nobody
and
spoke about postpartum.
but
no.
were you now looking back?
Yeah.
You were feeling a breakup. You were feeling postpartum. You're emotional. You're angry,
And I didn't have
she
nobody.
doesn't
I
sleep
didn't
at
have a
night, and
mom.
she's crying.
Yeah, I didn't have
you know?
nobody. I didn't have no support. I didn't have
Yeah.
nobody there, The only one that I had was my sister. And that's it, like, okay, next.
Yeah.
We faced, we didn't cry and we didn't go crazy or kill the child. No, we just face what you had to face and just keep it going. My kid had to be fed. I had to do what I had to do because, when I left my mother's house, I was living there for a little bit. I never went back. I said, I'm not coming back here. And I never did. Because they were my priority. No matter what, good or bad, they were my priority.
What was some of the hardest decisions that you had to make raising me and Sylvia?
Well, maybe not finishing school. I really wanted to have that degree. I still think about it sometimes. Going
You can
back.
still do it, Johnita.
Yeah,
You can still do
I
it.
still think about. I would like to go back and have that degree. At least the 2 years. I would like
Right.
to finish that off.
It was so long
I think
ago.
it was, but I think it was so
long
many
ago.
tough decisions you had to make. Because even if you do have, all the money in the world, I feel like becoming a mom is still a sacrifice. And it's a very sacrificial gig, like
Sacrificial gig.
it's very loving and it's all those things, but you are sacrificing something. Obviously, if you have money, it makes the sacrifice better. It makes it easier. You can provide for yourself and for your kids. But
True.
I think just becoming a mom, because I'm a mom now,
I know.
it's not for the weak.
I know.
And you do, like, I sacrifice my freedom. We're all sacrificing something.
Yeah,
You
your
probably feel like you
sleep,
spent all
your-
your money on your kids, and you're like, I would have way more money if I didn't, kind of thing.
I would
You
be
know,
a
like,
gazillionaire if I didn't spend my
it's-
money
you are-
on
you-
other
You guys have a
people.
car and things like that. I didn't have no car.
No,
I had
I
to
know, yeah, which
grab
makes
them,
it
get on the bus.
50
boom,
times worse.
sure.
It is.
for sure.
It's not easy.
Yeah, but
on the
when-
train going down the steps with a carriage or with the other
Yeah.
one hanging on your teta. You know what I'm saying?
I'm complaining about putting the carriage in the car,
so-
and you have to go on the train and the bus and the this and the that. Like, I can't imagine.
Exactly. I didn't have a car until I have a TikTok. You want TikTok?
No, did you just
You
eat
just
your
pull a TikTok out of your
She's
pocket.
talking. Like, did she just eat a
I was
TikTok?
wondering what you.
My mom like her
Is
TikTok.
the
like
AC on?
It's
Yeah, I
hot.
don't
Hot?
think it's working. Sorry.
Is it the heat?
I think we're back to
Oh, okay,
having.
we're back.
Yeah, it's hot. So, it's, I mean, I probably would do it all over again.
You would do it over again?
Of course.
I mean, you're not going to say no. We're
No.
sitting here.
No. No.
But you would do it over again.
Of course.
You know what? I would do it
I would do it
listen,
again.
I always say to myself, I have no regrets on
I don't have no regrets.
certain decisions that I made. Even having her young, like my kids, like it gave me so much purpose. I always say this, like, boy, kids are really, you're like, shit, I got to figure this out for Blaze, or I got to figure this out for, like, I have to, like, I have kids now, you know, like, I can't be a failure. I have to make sure that I provide. I have to make sure that I figure it out. I want to raise decent human beings, but I don't have, you know, I would do it again, you know, like, I would have you when I had you, you know, because it really, like, I was like, I have to go to work, you know, and
That's
I've
it.
always worked, you know, so, you know, I feel like kids are hard, but I don't know, it gives you like this whole new mindset when you have children, because you have humans depending on you. So, yeah. So, okay, so you know what? So you said, okay, so you talked about how, okay, I know you are. My mother's a CNN. She watches the news all the time. So you talked about being on public assistance. You were on, did you have WIC? Was that a thing back when we were growing up? No.
No.
Okay. So you were on public assistance though, because I remember having the book with the money that was different colors.
The food stamps. You're talking about the food stamps. Yeah.
We were excited when that reloaded. I'll tell you that. But so now, watching the news and hearing like all the, you know, that they're going to cut certain programs for single moms, you know, public assistance.
Scary.
Yeah. Well, like, what are your thoughts? Like, how do you feel about that? Because
It's scary. It's scary. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're cutting to the people that you're cutting food from people's mouth and poor people, you know, to give to the rich people more. And because maybe those people that cutting to the poor people don't know what is to be on public assistance and go to count your pennies and your pennies, because I'll count pennies and sell bottles. And it's sad that what was really happening. I feel like it's gonna get worse than better.
I
And
feel
you're gonna
like,
see a lot of people on the street
yeah.
because the rent are so sky high, and they cutting food stamps. And but I hope it doesn't get to that point. But I see a lot of homeless family.
Yeah, I think that the issue is, so I feel like both of us, right? So like, I was on public assistance when I had Shah. I was on WIC when I had Shah. Obviously, you were on public assistance, but you weren't on public assistance your whole life.
Oh, no.
You know, I feel like that's the difference. And I think, because you do have, obviously, there are certain people that abuse the system
Of
and
course.
are on public
Okay.
assistance, and there's no thought or desire to go work at a job. You know, I feel like you used it as a stepping stone. You ended up getting your job at Carlisle, and you were there how many years? 20 years. And
25.
I used it as a stepping stone too, because I was so
Yeah.
young when I had you, you know. So I was like, I really need. Then me and your dad broke up when you were 2. I had an apartment in the building in
Yeah,
the Bronx. I
also.
never forget, my rent was $220. $220. I wish
Wow.
my bills were $220 now, you know. But it was, I remember it vividly because I remember what I had to pay every month. But I used it as a stepping stone, you know. I ended up getting, you know, a job, and then I got another job, and then obviously, you know, I couldn't have both. But
And at one point when I was on public assistant, and they used to tell me, because they were already in school, so they used to give me like an amount for them, but then the other amount I had to go like on a little training, like work in the Jamaica. Always remember I had to take that bus from Richwood all the way to Jamaica to work in it was, I don't remember if it was a welfare office. I used to do envelopes, and that part was the part that belonged to me. Like I had to work for my food stamps, you know, And they maybe could do something like that for some people that abuse the system, and if you don't, you healthy, just go to work. There's a lot of work out there. And I get it that some people abuse the system because of one person, everybody else gets rambled in there.
Yeah.
But because I used to work with this. And then when I went to work full time in Carlisle, at the beginning, they say, okay, they're not going to take it away from them for 3 months. And then after the 3 months, my probation time, they take it out. Like the Medicaid too. And they took my Medicaid right away. But the food stamp, they left it like for 3 months, and then it was on me. So,
Yeah. So let's talk about fun moments, because I feel like I had amazing fun moments growing up. Favorite moments. What are some of your favorite moments that we all had just growing up, the family, that you can remember? Like, what were your favorite activities that we would do, or things that you remember?
that I remember. The beach,
Coney Island?
Coney Island. She got lost in Coney Island.
Mm-hmm. I remember Coney Island.
Yes.
I remember, so we would go to Coney Island as kids. Like, going to Coney Island was a big deal back in the day. Do people go to Coney Island like that still?
Yes. And
Yeah.
And it looks really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was just there, and I was like, oh my God, you just reminded me of my childhood.
Yeah, so we would
I go every year.
to Coney Island, and I remember going, and as a kid being in the water, and the water moves you. So me and, my sister were just in the water, and I remember coming out, and I remember thinking, I don't see my mom's orange blanket, because you had an orange blanket. And I remember the color of that blanket. And I came out and I didn't see the orange blanket, and I was like, fuck. So I walk up to this lady, and she's sitting on the beach. She kind of looked like you. She was beautiful. So I remember thinking, she had her hair in a bun, and I remember thinking, wow, she's really pretty. She must be nice. You know what I mean? She must be nice, and she must be like safe to talk to, So I go up to her, and I'm like, hi, I'm lost. And she was like, you're lost, So she goes and she takes me to a police officer, okay?
On the boardwalk.
She takes me to the police officer at the boardwalk, and I'm just like, hi, I'm lost. So he was like, okay. He goes and he buys me an ice cream cone.
She remembered that part, and he telling me that when she got to the boardwalk, she says, it was a guy, it was a man.
Yeah, I remember.
He asked her, what's your name? What's your mother's name? She comes out and she said, this is my name. My mother's name is Sylvia. And this is my phone number. She remembered the phone number. I always remember teaching them the phone number. We had phone number, not cell phone. And so when I got there, like, mind you, I'm in close to the parachute part right there. That's where I usually go. This is all the way at the end, and the precinct is all the way next to the aquarium. This is almost half a mile. I'm barefoot, crazy like una loca, running through the whole place, and I found this police, and I say, my daughter is lost, but I was like lost. I was going, I thought I was going to lose it. And he said, come down. What's your daughter's name? I said, her name is Sandy. Oh, Sandy. I know Sandy. What do you mean you know Sandy? She's in the precinct. I'm like, what? So, mind you, nobody put me in the little carrito and take me over there. No, Sylvia had to go all the way. They had to go all the way there. So when I find her, She's sitting on the bench with a barquilla,
Ice cream cone.
ice cream cone. Hi, Mom. I'm like, hi, Mom. What do you mean, hi, Mom? I'm like, so I had to just hug her. That's all, because I said, thank you, Jesus.
Listen, I didn't have a care in the world. I just know I had an ice cream cone.
She only
and
had
I
an
was
ice
great.
cream cone.
Life
It
was
probably
great.
was from whatchamacallit, the one that you like,
Mr.
Softy. Who knows? She did not have no worry. Me, I am crying through the whole process and getting there, running my barefoot, my feet hot, and she was having an ice cream cone.
You know what my dad said about you the other day? Sorry, I just thought about it as you
Just
were
thought
talking.
about you do
He
that.
said, Wellie been in New York for basically almost all of your life, and you still have the same accent for like 60 years.
Oh, that's not changing.
He said that to me the other day.
Yeah,
That's not going to
Yeah.
change.
So the accent has not changed. Well, Wellie, I know you feel like you could have done better as a mom, but you've done a really great job as a grandmother.
Thank you.
With me. And my moments as a child, you are heavily in those memories of my childhood, and us going to Puerto Rico, and we would go to Florida. Like, we spent a lot of time together. So I think
The fiesta
you did it,
patronales.
the fiesta, the everything. So
The
I
fiesta
think
patronales.
you did good as a grandma with me.
Thank you, Mama.
Seriously.
No, she did. She
did.
did. She was definitely.
Because you were outside.
I was outside.
Yeah, and
I mean, I had you at 7.
I'm trying to be outside, and you have too many things to do.
The problem is that you trying to be outside, but I also have a kid.
I know. So can you move?
I have a kid.
Can you move?
I'm
here?
like, I have a kid, so it's like I gotta wake up. How much sport? You've been here a couple of days. Like, I'm at sports all the time.
I know, Mom, but it's like I need you to move.
I need you to move. I feel like one of my favorite moments, like growing up, it's the house parties. House parties
my
was
God,
such a
that's right.
thing back then.
Yeah.
Like, everybody would go to your mom's house,
put the
then
coats in the
eventually
car.
you and your mother got somewhat cool, and we would have these like house parties, and all the aunts were there,
Yeah.
uncles, and then you guys would party till I don't know what time.
2,
and then
3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. The kids, they were doing God knows what, because we're talking about the 80s. And then the kids would be all in the bedroom, sleeping on the coats with the
Top of the
cats.
coat, right.
It was like,
It was, yeah.
You do like to have fun.
Huh?
You like to have fun.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that about you.
So think about like back then, you know what I mean? She was shaking a tail feather, and then the kids would be dancing too, and it was like Spanish food. So those, oh my God, you know what? One of the memories I have is you guys making a pernil
Depending.
outside. Girl, they would have the whole fucking pig with like
With
literally
the steak in the middle.
with the
yes.
stick out, like through the butt, out the mouth, and then they would be making it outside. Like, it didn't care if it was organic, sanitized. We just were eating the penny,
No,
but it was
they
good.
clean it. Of course, they have to.
Yeah, that was different. But like, we ate it and it was good. But like, oh Lord, child, life has changed. But that was my fun memory. I remember that. I remember when you bought me my Barbie house.
Oh my gosh. What I had to do to get that Barbie.
She had to. I don't know if you want to talk about it.
what
But
did you have to do?
Oh, she knows.
She married a guy. And
get the Barbie
so
house?
he could get his papers. And she got $3,000. I remember it was $3,000.
And he never paid me that whole money. He still owes me. And whatever. I don't even know if he watches this thing, but anyway.
Wait, so
Let's
did he-
ask for your money.
I
How
know
much does
exactly where he lives. Exactly where he lives. in Queens.
Girl, he's not there no more. You want to call ICE on him?
Think he's still alive?
He was alive when I went to get my divorce. We were divorced. We were married until 2006
Wow.
when I
married
put the
him.
divorce. Yes.
So how long were you married for then?
A long time.
That's crazy. So she married somebody and got 3,000. But you know what, Ma? You a real one, because you
He only gave me $800 out of that $3. So you still owe me a lot of money.
You owe Wellie,
Yes.
if you're watching.
whoever was his name,
Eduardo.
Eduardo. What's his last name? She don't
Eduardo
remember.
from Queens.
Eduardo.
Gallardo.
A what?
Gallardo.
Eduardo Gallardo.
You still owe me money.
You owe my mom some money, okay? You in the United States because my mom married you back in the day.
That's right.
But you like really sacrifice, like you know.
Wow.
We had the best because you did that. We had the best Christmas that year.
And Sylvia or Janita always wanted to have a boombox. So I'm like, where I'm getting this money from? And then that was one of my first job after I finished the vocational school. And it was on Lexington and Third Avenue. And this guy used to do papers, income taxes, and all that crap. And he said, Sylvia, I have this guy that wants to, okay. I said, listen, I need my money for my kid. This one is asking for a Barbie house. And the other one for a boombox. I'm like, I don't have money for that. They say, okay, I do it. Then he wanted to make it for sure, like for real. I said, no, we're not going there. No, not going there.
Well, as your children, we appreciate you marrying Eduardo because it is one of the highlights of my childhood is having that Barbie dream house. And then I got the car to go with it, honey. The Corvette. You can't tell me shit. And then at some point, I got the Barbie store. I said, we are doing I had a Barbie store.
You know?
I was living this life in my Barbie land that I was like, I want to be this. But I had so much fun. We had such a fun Christmas because you did that. So thanks, girl. Wellie, she was sacrificing, but yeah. So that's one of like the fun memories.
And did you remember the time that I dropped the what was the name of
the M80?
The M80 between the two buildings.
Yes. So
I just wanted to mess up with that landlord.
So during the 4th of July, where we lived, it was like enclosed like this. So if you look down, it was like a shaft. She decides to throw a M80, which is like this big firework through there, and it went boom. It sounded like we were in a war, and I remember I was scared of fireworks.
Then I came out and said, who did that? Like I make believe. I'm like, oh my God, who did that? And the guy is cursing downstairs, and I am cracking up upstairs. I'm like,
And Mom, you know what? To his defense, like I know you said the guy was an asshole, but we were probably bad and annoying, you know? Like, what the hell?
he accused them a lot of stuff that they didn't do, you know?
Are we sure?
Like
Did you do any of it?
messing up the floor.
We probably did. We were outside. You guys didn't know what we were doing. Why? You guys would be in the house drinking your coffee, smoking your joint, whatever.
No, I'm not smoking no joint.
You don't smoke joints?
Cigarette, yeah, but not cigarette, but not joint. I was not really a smoker like that.
Wellie,
Wellie, nothing.
I remember you rolling up a joint or y'all having the record. And this is when weed had the little pits in it, and you guys would separate the weed from the pits, and you would roll it up in one of those little white papers. You and your sisters.
But she doesn't never smoke.
Or whoever was in the
She
house.
smoked one time, and she
Wellie,
thought
weed
that
is
she was
okay. Weed is
she
like...
was-
Weed is legal now,
Weed
Wellie.
is
It's
like
okay.
taking a
You smoked
Tylenol.
weed. But I remember this, and you guys used to like smoke the weed, and then you guys used to also smoke cigarettes.
No, no, wait a
guys
minute.
used to smoke
No, no,
the
no.
weed.
You guys know, you guys are a lot of people. It's only me. She didn't smoke.
No, but what I'm
She never
saying
smoked
is,
cigarettes
So you were the only one smoking.
I was the only one.
Okay.
okay, so you're confirming what I'm saying. It's okay. Nobody's gonna judge you.
No,
You
no,
used to smoke a
no.
joint, and it's all right.
And then I smoked for a little bit. Then I stopped because I got paranoid when I was going on the train. I got paranoid.
It's all
I
right.
did.
It's all right. But anyway, I remember that. I remember.
Did you ever go to Studio 54?
I did once.
That's the time I wish I was like
Yeah,
a part
I
of.
did. I think I did once or twice.
I went to Studio 54.
I wish I was a part of that time.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Did you
It
ever
was-
watch the documentary?
Totally.
Yeah, okay.
I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
It was.
Have
Yeah, you see a lot
documentary.
of stuff in there. Then
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So when you look at your 4 grandkids and 4 great grandkids now.
Oh. Yeah, 4
great
grandkids.
grands? Oh, okay. 4 great grandkids. Oh,
And
yeah, 4. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 and 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you feel,
Wow.
if any?
With the grandkids,
Yes.
it's like, well, my great grandkids is something that I feel like thankful, blessed. And I wish I'd be here for many, many, many other years to be with them and enjoy that. But it's something that is not everyone experienced that, and I'm grateful. Thank God that I was a grandma at
Young.
38,
Mm-hmm.
and as a young grandmother. So, you know,
That's how I feel.
yeah.
You know, it's like
Are
it
you
was.
a young grandma?
Well, I'm not as young as her, but bitch, I'm not old. God, you really? What the hell? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yes, it's like, but like I had you young, and for me to still be able to,
Now,
like
a great grandma, I don't know how young she's gonna be, but
when I become a great grandma.
I don't know about that.
No, I don't know if I'm. Am
Nah,
I
she's
gonna
probably
be here?
gonna be like a old. At least, por lo menos, I'm a great grandma.
Yeah.
I'm proud. I mean, I'm very proud of you, all of you, and I think it's beautiful. It's a nice feeling to say. A lot of people say that you what? I'm like, yeah, I have 4 great grandkids, and I'm like, and I see people older that they're not great grandparents, and I say, I am.
Yeah.
But I am very proud of that. And, you know. And
Are you proud of how your kids turned out?
Definitely.
I mean, I know you're not gonna say no.
No. We como que dejarle déjà vu.
Right now? I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Like
Because
I felt that she asked me this before.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So we're on the right path. That means.
Yeah. No. I would. You know, of course. I mean. Yeah. You know, the good women, good mom, good great grandma, good not great grandma, grandma, great grandmothers. I mean, they caring. They both. I think that much a better version of me. Definitely. I mean.
Yeah, you want your kids to
You
be
know,
that.
you know, and I like that, you know. When I see them, like they go here and there and there, I say, I don't even know if I was able to do all that. But then I did what I did back then. So I did my portion with them.
And I feel like reflecting back, right? Because we have, like, you have siblings, there's a lot of cousins, and I think in every family you see certain kids go one way, you see,
Yeah.
so you know, we have cousins that didn't go down the best path. And we were exposed to so much too, you know, it's like we saw drug use,
Yes.
like we didn't live in the greatest neighborhoods. I remember being at the bus stop with you and vividly seeing, like, you know, men on heroin and kind of just living that and being around that. But we never went down that path. We never did drugs. We never, not that kind of drug.
No. Of course. And you know what? I have a lot of friends that went that path. And I always said, you know, I would never want my kids to see me like that. Because I saw so much back in Brooklyn when I came in 1974. There was so many on the corners and things like that.
Yeah.
And I did not want my kids to say my mom is a drug addict, or my mom abandoned me, or she is selling her ass to, no. If I was, like, I couldn't do that. It was not part of me.
Yeah.
Would you start an OnlyFans for your feet?
Would I?
Yeah, you have nice feet.
Well, but you want to start
Make some money.
You want to twinkle them toes?
You want to make money with my feet now?
Yes.
You want to twinkle?
You think I will have fun?
You
Really,
have
it's like a
nice
whole
feet.
business.
Oh my Lord!
I was making like
See, I get here to California, I
15,000.
get corrupted.
Listen, no, seriously,
swear.
you're not. It's not corrupted. You twinkling your
corrupted
toes
my
for a little
feet.
change.
I'm not corrupting your feet. I said you have nice feet.
But I'm getting hot. Thank God that you're talking
You-
about my feet. I wanted to.
You,
Let me see. But she said that she has ugly feet because she said that they look like.
I
like,
never said I have ugly feet.
No, she said that her toe
Go ahead,
looks
girl.
like
You
mine.
better twinkle them things.
We could put some honey, drip some honey.
Yeah,
on them.
look, you
could
have
make
an
some money,
arch.
Wellie.
You have an
have
arch.
nice
They're
feet.
into all of that, girl.
Well, thank God they still good.
No,
At
I'm telling
70.
you.
OnlyFans for seniors.
OnlyFans for
yeah, that's a
seniors.
good idea.
That's a fetish for everything.
Yeah. Oh my Lord.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Well, okay,
love to
so
be
what
barefoot.
advice, okay, so we're almost done. What advice would you give to a single mom? You were a single mom your whole life. Like, what advice would you give someone that's now a single mom?
What topic though?
If you're struggling, tired, you're basically doing it alone.
Well, I guess if you have friends, talk about it. You know, look for that person. You know, you have friends. It doesn't have to be a woman. Could be a man. I mean,
So
you could have a
support.
man friend. You
Support.
know, talk about it. You know, and just I don't know. I guess you just have to talk about it. Don't stay quiet. You know, and go to groups. There were none back then, but they are now. The internet is great. We didn't have none of that, which sometimes is good, sometimes it's not. The phone sometimes takes a lot from family, and when you in a restaurant, or I see everybody's not paying attention to nobody.
Yeah, that bothers me.
Bothers me a lot.
Stay on track. Let's stay on track.
But I mean,
Let's stay on track.
I mean, the internet has a lot. You have a lot. Look for help. Just talk about it.
So that would be your advice. Find somebody
Support.
to talk to,
Talk
like a
to.
support, like
Support,
It's
yeah.
it always does help when you have somebody.
Somebody
that's,
to talk to.
yeah. And don't give up. You gotta keep.
Can't give up.
Yeah.
No, you can't give up.
I was gonna say faith. Like
Oh, of
will
course.
and faith and
Yeah.
you know.
You have to. Well, you know.
If you can tell your younger self anything, what would you tell her?
Oh boy. I don't even know how to start that.
I think for you, I would say you should tell your younger self everything's gonna be okay. Because I feel like you've always had to worry. You know, you had to worry with your relationship with your mom. You know, you probably never really felt like worthy, and because you had to experience all of that. We don't have to get into all that, but
Yeah.
then it's like, then you had kids, and then you had to worry like, oh my God, how am I going to provide for my kids? Then you end up in a relationship and you're like, oh my God, like, how is this going to work? How is this not going to work? You were always just like on survival mode. And now you're such in a place of like, you're chilling, you're relaxed, you're going to,
Yeah.
so it's going to be okay. You know, I think that's, if I were you, that's what I would tell my younger self.
You're right.
It's going to be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
And it's going to be better than fine because, look, we get to sit here after we film Drop the Low. We're downstairs. You're with your kids. You're with your grandkids. You're with your great-grandkids. And I'm sure back in the day, you didn't reflect or ever think that life was going to look like that.
Never.
You know?
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. So, and as your daughter, I give you all the grace in the world.
Thank you.
For whatever for pulling my ear or all the, giving me this saggy earlobe, you know, but I give you all the grace and all the love because you didn't have the resources, but you tried to do the best that you could do with what you had.
And of course, you know, and I'm grateful that that you guys became good women, that you are good women. I think I sometimes I say, I think I did a good thing. You know, when I see them, this one is doing that, this one is doing that. I feel like they have done good, and I'm glad that you know, and I'm glad that I'm still here to see that.
Yeah.
You know. And, you know, I'm looking forward to that 70th birthday coming.
Good for you, because...
What you mean?
I talked about, I can't believe I'm going to be 50. We already talked about this, but it's wild. Like,
I know.
How?
Are we going to party? We're going to do that party. Obviously, you're coming to New York.
I like a party.
Hopefully. I know she likes to party. And she likes to take over the DJ.
She does. Shaniece
likes to take over the DJ. We're going to have a great time.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Well, we love you, Wellie. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
We're going to...
This was fun.
This was easy, right?
Fun, yeah.
It was easy. And I think it's nice to, you know, have these type of conversations because usually everybody's going a mile a minute and maybe sometimes these conversations could be awkward or, you know.
And healing.
But it is healing.
It is.
Because you should know,
Healing.
and I'm not just telling you this because we're on Drop the Low, but you really, we don't harbor anything. Like, I had a fun childhood. Yes, we didn't have everything, but we know that you did the best that you could. And you've always been a hard worker. I feel like you passed that down to us to really just figure the shit out. So
yeah, because you guys didn't have grandparents to help you guys. You know?
no.
I mean, I didn't have my mom, or I didn't have my dad, or I didn't have nobody to be there for them.
Right.
To say, you know, I need help. I didn't have help.
Yeah.
I did this on my own. And sometimes, I don't even know, you know, sometimes, like, I'm like, how did I do this?
Yeah.
I don't even know how I did this. Thank God, you know, nobody went to drug like you said. I didn't, because I was thinking about them. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. I was like, I want my kids to say my mom is this. No. Like I seen other people, friends of mine,
Yeah.
still.
So
I'm going to buy you a Barbie dream house for your 50th birthday.
Oh my God.
The Corvette. And what was the other thing
I had
you
a store.
And the
Yeah,
store.
but it has to be big. Like
The Barbie.
I'm going to buy you a Barbie dream
The
house.
store had like little
Yeah.
accessories, and I remember taking baby powder and putting it in one of the like little things. Remember when I had a job? Remember my job, Mom?
I know.
I had a little job down
In
the
a
block.
Hallmark
I've always been a
store.
little go-getter. I'll tell you that. I know, but remember I worked in a little store,
Little
and it was a
Hallmark store.
stationery store. And my first little paycheck, I bought you that little thing.
cajita, I still have it.
And
really
she still has
sweet.
it. With
Still
my little
have it.
paycheck, I bought Wellie something, and I was
still
so
have it.
excited.
Inside that little cajita, she said, it's like a little thing like this. It has like, it's black with, it's like a Chinese little cajita.
Yeah.
And inside are Janita's first clip of her diapers. I have it in there.
Yeah.
In that little cajita.
So, anyway, we love you. If this conversation moved you, drop a comment below, subscribe, follow all
our
those good
Instagram.
things. Give
Official
it.
Drop the Low.
Yes.
You want to
And
drop your Instagram?
You want to drop your Instagram?
My Instagram?
Yeah.
It's Wild Sil.
My mother's Instagram is Wild Sil, SYL, Wild Sil.
That's wild.
And stay tuned for that OnlyFans foot page for the grannies.
For the seniors.
For the seniors.
I'm overheating.
Oh my God. Well, there you
job,
go.
Wellie.
We
Your
wrapped
cherry
it.
was popped on Drop the Low.
Oh my gosh.